it when you're 30,000 feet up with your thinker. Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to look doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse. America's most. Ain't no half stepping. See you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm. Have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the. I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull.
Okay, Coach, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jack. Bortles now on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
380. Hank. Lucy.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, here's Bortles. And it is incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
380. 380. Lucy, Lucy. 372. Hey, 54 Ricky. Lucy, Lucy.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Lucy, Lucy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
380. Lucy, Lucy. 372. Lucy, Lucy. 3
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. Now the Purdue man. This is a keen punt. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they are going to Set up shop at the 32-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
Football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
11. Green 80. 11B. 372. Green is on. 11B.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Green 80. Go left. Lucy. Green is good.
Bortles. He's going to fire one deep over into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw there.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run. This is Hunt. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the playoffs.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. A.J. Boye with a pick, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Green 80. Green 80. Hey, hold it.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, spread left. Spread left. Set. Green 80. 372.
Now a play fake. Bortles. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock the ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set. Green 80. 372.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bills getting set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Here we go now.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hut.
Out Allen looks to throw on second down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second quarter about to get underway. Allen now on first down. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Allen will try again on second down. Airing one deep for Curse. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 30 yards there. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit!
On second down, here's Allen. That's complete right around the 8. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On third down, it's Hunt, and they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a give to Fournette. Always got some breathing room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You. Green 80.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, 5-0. Green 80.
On second down, here's Fournette down to the 25. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. To go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this.
Green 80.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Let's go. Sunday. Omaha.
Fournette on the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Now Leonard Fournette. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now the Bills will take another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The Bills on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he'll find some space up to about the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. A final shot before half for Bortles. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Allen. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's 3rd and 4. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And that is incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Jaguars on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
380. 380.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Gone!
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. A good pickup there at 22. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice game.
This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Out left side here to Bryant. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen going to throw. It's caught by Moncrief. And he's got this down to the 35. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Gone!
Now Allen. Throw left side complete. It's Bryant. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
380!
They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it again with Fournette. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
380! 380! Lucy!
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Check! 380! 76!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You can give your superstar. Back now in Buffalo. And we've got a dandy here. 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
372. Green 80. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Eluding the pressure right. And fights through one man. Escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
On first down, Allen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Back to the air on second down, it's Allen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
Now Allen on first down. And incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Room here to run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Fournette. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly. Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. They'll run with Fournette. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. A handoff, Fournette running left. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And Bullock will put this one through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And here come the Bills. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney! Over!
He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Jacksonville, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders.
It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you like You by yourself?